Hi, everybody. Dennis Prager here. Once a season, if not even that much, we feature some group that does particularly good work on this planet. And I'm telling you, the timing, and Alan was nodding here in agreement, the timing could not have been better on a day of, I think, disturbing news. And to have goodness permeate the studio with Glen Megill and his Rock of Africa people here with him. I went with Rock of Africa to Zimbabwe and Zambia, saw the work that they did. I contributed minusculely, but even in that moment of handing out mosquito nets and maize, corn seed to the poorest of the poor on earth. And I've been to 98 countries. I've seen very many poor people. I tell you, it is so uplifting what Rock of Africa does. Glen Megill, you guys are extraordinary. I want to just say, I want to give the number now. And listen, folks, I'm so moved. Let me tell you something. If you give a $1,500 donation, and it's all tax deductible, and with taxes going up, it means the government is going to pay a big chunk of it. If you give $1,500, which is 50 families or more, obviously, I'll personally call you and thank you. That's how much I adore this organization. Rock of Africa, 800-347-1323. The number's up at DennisPrager.com. So you were going to tell us a story. Are you still interested in doing that?
Fine,
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we go to Zimbabwe, Dennis, and you've met some of the people there, some extraordinary people.
Yep.
There was a young woman who's 29 years old by the name of Tuwani Zvikanyaukwa. It's a little bit of a tongue twister of a name. But Tuwani was a remarkable young woman in her 20s. There was a young boy by the name of Eric who was dying. I mean, he was retarded and he was malnourished, and his mother was a prostitute, and she kept him and wouldn't bring him. And because he wasn't an orphan, we were kind of helpless. And she just was afraid of everybody and felt guilty about her life and everything. And so Tuwani went and sat with this family, sat with this mother every morning, and started her day every morning with Eric's mother, and became friends. And gradually she was able to bring Eric, and she came as well, and we served them meals. We found out in 2 weeks' time that Eric wasn't retarded at all. He was just so malnourished that he couldn't speak, and he started to thrive. His mother, in fact, because of the HIV problem, got AIDS and died. But today Eric is alive because of Tuwani. She sat there every morning and just loved this woman and loved this family. Mother and father both dead today, but Eric is alive. Now, Tuwani was this giant of a woman, and she got a stomach infection. And it was during this period of time, and you've heard about the times when there's just no fuel in the country at all. There was no fuel, there was no travel, and she was in the hospital. They couldn't get any antibiotics. They couldn't get them. And they kept being promised, and they didn't come. And her husband, Jasper, finally hitchhiked to Zambia to bring antibiotics back. And they gave them to her at the hospital. She started to thrive. Her husband left and went out and was working with the children. Again, they managed the child care there. The next day, she took a turn for the worse, and they tried to reach him on the cell phone, and they couldn't. And Tuwani was dying, and she couldn't say goodbye to her husband. This is somebody that's just very important to our organization. So she pulled out a piece of paper, and she scratched a note to her husband that said this: "My dearest Jasper, do not be afraid. I am in the hands of the Lord. We will meet again in Jerusalem." And she died. This woman, Dennis, is a hero in my life. A 29-year-old nobody from Zimbabwe. I tell you, the work here is just not nameless, faceless people. There are giant people here. There are people of such character and such goodness that simply don't have the resources. We bring the resources, and we stand beside some truly great people.
Did you hear the news that Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are trying to get all the billionaires in the country to promise to give 50% or more of their income to charity? Do they know about Rock of Africa? What are they going to send it to? Governments? I mean, I know they mean well. I know. And it just breaks my heart that I'm asking, for 90 to 1,500 or more. But we are. And I'm telling you that I went there. I went there with my son. Shmuley Boteach went with his daughter. We were blown away. It's a permanently great memory of my life, handing a mosquito net to people who could die of malaria. You could hear the meaning in my voice. 800-347-1323. 800-347-1323. Up at DennisPrager.com.